Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning. I'm your host, Davida Shinsky, and you're listening to Live Without Limits, coming to you from the Blog Talk Radio Network. Today's show is titled 6 Best Apps for Working Remotely from Home. According to Global Workplace Analytics, the number of people who work remotely has upped by 140% since 2005. So that sentence is just so important for one reason only, that remote working didn't just start because of the pandemic. It started from the latter part of the 20th century and just accelerated over time. But the pandemic accelerated it even more simply because people were beginning to understand the importance of working from home. And it also gave working mothers flexible time. And I remember back when I was living in an apartment complex in the very early part of the 21st century during the 2008, 2009, and I had a neighbor that had someone to come and visit her, and she went to interview for a job. What they did was they gave her the computer with the software installed and a telephone, and they told her, go home, set up your phone service, set up your internet service, and all you have to do is log on to the mainframe and all calls will be rerouted. Then back when they had such an upsurge of gas prices when it became $5 a gallon, what happened? Even state offices realized that they could have their workers work from home because the expense of driving into work and then having to pay for parking, it was able to cut their overhead. So what was once inconceivable is now mainstream reality. Over the last decade, especially, the evolution of technology has enabled us to work from the comfort of our homes. Moreover, research further shows that the small companies are now more inclined to hire full-time remote workers. And there's a reason for this. With remote workers, you don't have to invest in building office spaces. And your utility bill and equipment costs are minimized. Here's another aspect to it. That what companies do is they will go to the temp agencies and they will list their job openings. And if it's a position that you're interested in, you apply for it. Then the temp agency trains you for that position. Comcast, IBM, Apple, Microsoft, all of these major companies use this technique of hiring workers today. Moreover, research shows that small companies are now more inclined to hire full-time remote workers. And there's a reason for this. With remote workers, you don't have to invest in building office spaces. And your utility bill and equipment cost is minimized. That actually is important to repeat because it helps you understand why. And what that does for the remote worker is it gives them tax breaks also because all of those expenses that were taken off by the corporation can also be taken off by the remote workers. They don't have to worry about whether or not they can do what they need to do. So moreover, research shows, and let's go back. With that said, not everyone utilizes the right set of toolkits to streamline the work from home experience. This results in decreased productivity and added frustration. With the right apps, telecommuting becomes nothing short of a blessing. So let's have a look at a few essential apps that you must count on to remote or work remotely in full swing. Now, this is something that's not on there, but I'm going to talk about, and that's Dragon Naturally Speaking. And Google has one that's called Google Talk, and all you, it's a Google Voice. Anyway, what it is it's a speech-to-text software that what it allows you to do is that you speak into a headset that is connected to the software, and it does your typing for you. It helps allow you to not have to use your hands, but for people who have carpal tunnel syndrome or someone who just uses one hand because they don't have use of the other, it makes the timing of everything go that much more quicker. Now, here's the thing, Clockify. When you work from home, your employer usually has a hard time accepting that you are actually working rather than slacking off. On the other hand, sometimes you want to show your employers the amount of hard work and time that you put into your work. Clockify is a time tracking app that allows you and your team to record and track work hours. Just one glance at the dashboard and you can fairly be comprehensive details on what the employees are working on. Moreover, once the project is complete, a report is generated that displays the time employees dedicated to each task. The best part about Clockify is that it allows you to add up to 50 custom fields to your time entries, numbers, text, links, yes, no buttons, are some of the fields that you can add. Now, here's also something to remember. As technology improves, as time changes, then the software ends up being updated also to comply with the changes that are actually going on. Zoom. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Zoom emerged as one of the most popular platforms for conducting remote meetings. The versatile meeting app allows you to conduct audio and video conferencing, run webinars, and hold both one-on-one and group training sessions. In fact, Zoom is the best platforms that you can conduct the team meetings on owing to its great features. It allows you to record videos, gives you the option to share a screen, set an interesting virtual background, and send both personal and group messages during the meeting. Coming with a feature that supports up to 100 participants and up to 50,000 view-only members, Zoom is a must-have app when it comes to conducting online meetings. Here's another unique thing about Zoom, that there are virtual summits that are being done, and there's quite a few platforms where you can do virtual summits, and one of the things that they do is they integrate Zoom into their platform so that you can end up using their platform to store your videos, in essence, or your training or your meetings for people to go back and view at a later time. This is just a really great access and unique use of this particular software. Now, another one is Just 10. It might come off as a rather strange choice of app in this list, but let's not form an opinion too quickly. Think about it. While you're working with your teammates on a spreadsheet, your coworker makes a silly typo. You want to roast your coworker, but how would you? Of course you wouldn't want to send an email about it. Here's where you could make good use of Just 10. When work gets on your nerves and stress takes over, Just 10 adds zest to your work by adding an amusing touch to your remote working setup. This app provides a great social networking platform that helps you blow off steam and work in a friendly atmosphere. It provides a seamless app experience like AirG, Scan, free apps, along with providing your private space to connect and share. Just 10 allows you to add up to 10 of your closest friends. So get ready to have a private space where you redefine your working setup by adding some inside jokes, banters, and whatnot. The neat thing about Just 10 is this, that that social networking is a very good way to interact with people, and as well as it's good use for business, often it's a great way for you to connect, because you never know if you very well might be looking for a job or changing things. So when you use certain apps, and the thing is, every company today is developing an app, because people today do most of their work from their smartphones. If they're not at home, they can stay connected. The neat thing about Zoom is, one thing I have found is, I can be at the dentist's office having dental work done, and on the way home, I can get on a Zoom call and participate in a conference that's going on, even though I'm not at my computer. That's the neat thing about having those apps that you can add to your phone. Chrome Remote Desktop. You don't necessarily need to have your office computer at home in order to use it. Chrome Remote Desktop enables you to safely access your computer from virtually anywhere. All you need to have is an access URL that you enter into the web browser on your tablet, phone, or different computer, and voila! And wow! Not to mention, Chrome Remote Desktop comes with an extension that allows you faster access to your computer. Other than remote access, remote success, and screen sharing. Another key feature is that Chrome Remote Desktop lets you connect your device with your teammates. Not only does it ensure that you access your device, but it enables your colleagues to view and interact with your system as well. A few years ago, my computer crashed, and until I was able to get my new computer in, I had to get a Chromebook so that I could access all this the information that was on my hard drive. And how I did that is I used Google Drive to store all the information that's on my computer. And then from anywhere, I can take a Chromebook and access all that information and continue to work on it. That's the neat thing about using a Chrome remote desktop, because they're like the little netbooks that came out a few years ago. That what they do is they allow you, by having your stuff stored on a cloud, you can still access and you can still work and do what you need to do from any place. Spark. Research shows that 28% of the average person's work week spent managing emails. That adds up to around 11 hours. While some people make the most of emails to manage their work, emails can also come off as a serious productivity killer for others. Here's when Spark comes into play. Spark is an intelligent email management app that collects and sorts your emails from multiple accounts, allowing you to arrange your emails in terms of priority or snooze them for later. But it doesn't end here. Thanks to the collaborative tools Spark offers, your entire team can work on the same email remotely. This ensures that every concerned person can provide information on the email in real time and in the absence of any delays and chaos. Google Drive. If we bring file storage and synchronization under the spotlight, then look no further than Google Drive. With Google Drive, you not only get to store and share your files, but also get to join forces with online word editors, presentation slides, and spreadsheets. This multifaceted app allows you to compose project proposals, write blog posts, and manage business documentation through Google Docs. Moving forward, Google Sheets lets you organize statistical data, whereas Google Slides ensures that you are able to create high-quality presentations for clients and colleagues. The best thing about Google Drive is that you can work collaboratively on any type of document or all the changes that synchronize and save on their own. Okay. Many companies today, or many small businessmen, are solopreneurs who work from home. And if they set up affiliate programs or joint ventures, the neat thing about Google Docs, Google Drive, all of the different things that Google has available, well, then you can set it up where you can share it with them. And it gives them the email swipes to do the work that can help you with building and marketing your sales online. So, bottom line, see, remote working was introduced to break the 9-to-5 wheel and provide flexibility to employees. However, many of us fail to manage things when we work from home, consequently compromising our personal life and relationships. When you make use of the apps, you will increase your productivity levels and surely be able to get the job done at the right time. So take full advantage of them and take good care of your mental and physical health. Here's something else that I'm going to start to talk about simply because I think it plays an important role in how we work from home. That if you have a home-based business, here are some things that you truly need to be aware of. Set aside an office and arrange it so that it keeps you very focused and keeps you away from the family. And make sure that you put you have a door and you have a sign on there to let people know when you're working and when they can come in. That when that door is closed, it's not a time for them to interrupt you, that you're busy. Or if you are doing business with someone, that you specifically need to be aware of what's going on. Now, 28% of the average person's work week is spent managing emails, and that adds up to 11 hours. That's important to remember because we don't realize that we get inundated with emails from everyone, and you have to prioritize what is you need to do and what you need to set aside. And that's why often people will say, don't even look at your emails to the end of the day. And here's the neat thing. If you've got appointments, keep them on Google Calendar, because what that does is that already advanced to the point that it will let you know a half an hour before the meeting time when that appointment's coming up. And this way, if it's a Zoom meeting, you have the link put in there so that you can actually access it and be constantly aware of just how to incorporate these things into your daily life. So what I think I need to do is give you a little bit more background on some information, because it's important for you to recognize that when you are utilizing these tools, how you can work remotely and keep things going. So let's look at what remote working is very quickly and how you can use it with Zoom. For one thing, enable the work from home anywhere revolution. The workplace is no longer just in the office, it's wherever you are, whether you're returning to the office, working from home, or a mix of both. We have the products and features that can truly help you. So here's the thing. The world of work has changed. Supporting both in-office and remote workers will be critical to the success of organizations around the world as they return to the office. At Zoom, they're committed to helping businesses get the most out of their workplaces, no matter where their work happens. Learn how remote workers feel about the hybrid workspace. Now, what happens is SurveyMonkey conducted a poll of over 1,500 U.S.-based remote workers to better understand what people think, feel, need, and expect about the hybrid workspace and returning to the office. And often thinking about this and understanding just how it all works together to keep you in that position of working complete. So although the survey found that the majority of workers are eagerly anticipating returning to the office, 66%, according to the report, about two-thirds or 65% respondents who have been working from home over the past year said that the hybrid work environment was the ideal work model, or that 65%, 33% said that they prefer to work mostly from the office, while 32% prefer to work mostly from home. We also saw that employees' preferences of where they work takes place in very significance of age. According to the results of the survey, younger remote workers between 18 and 34 prefer to work mostly from the office, while older workers that are 65 plus prefer to work mostly from home. Although fewer respondents preferred a strict in-office model, they made up a significant percentage of the respondents. So, as you can see, when you're looking at remote working, it also goes into age groups. And that's so important to recognize, simply because remote workers can be very productive. And those often, the ones that prefer working are those that want to get away from the home, that want to get in a different environment, that don't want to worry about where the kids are or what's going on. And the older ones, their mobility becomes more limited over time. So what happens is they're looking for ways to continue to be productive, while at the same time they may not be. And that's why if you can utilize Zoom, Just Chat, Chrome Remote Desktop, and Google Drive, then you can keep each other connected with one another. And Zoom is one of the best ways to keep meetings, because if you've got a Zoom account, you can always keep it set where you let them know at a specific time once a week. In fact, I use the platform to dock my website, and through them I can do a webinar, I can link my e-learning courses, and all I have to do is log into the platform and set things up, and it just goes automatically. And if I've done a webinar and I've linked it into my webinar tool, then it can become a remote or evergreen webinar where I can still advertise it, I can still sell it, and I can put in ghost attendees. And by putting in ghost attendees, what that allows me to do is to have them interacting on an ongoing basis, so that anyone that's attending begins to ask questions. And then I can link in a site bot into my website, and then into the webinar a chat bot where I'm getting them to ask questions and interact. And that is one of the best ways to connect with people who are attending something that is no longer live but has been done live previously. And it also encourages you to have an opportunity to utilize the different platforms. And the neat thing about it is, if you want to create a professional website that looks really great, then they have the banners that all you have to do is pull the banners in. And pulling the banners in, you can make it all uniform throughout every page. And remember, you can go to my website, and that's the #1personalcareercoach.com, and you can get either individual coaching or group coaching, where we can sit down with you and teach you how to incorporate the apps into your business, or the tools to help you become a fully integrational digital marketing platform to grow your business.